Welcome to the Biz Move podcast. Visit us at bizmove.com for a comprehensive free resource of guides and templates for starting and managing a business. How to negotiate effectively. Effective negotiation strategies and tactics to score a great deal. Learning how to negotiate removes pressure, stress, and friction from your life. You see, negotiating is like chess. If you don't know how to play, you will be intimidated by the activity, especially if your opponent knows the game. Negotiating is a predictable event that has rules, planned moves, and counter moves. But, unlike chess, negotiating is an activity you can't avoid, so learn the rules. This episode discusses the 5 underlying facts about negotiating, win-win negotiating, and the definition of a good negotiator. 5 underlying facts about negotiating. 1. You are negotiating all the time. Whether you are buying supplies, selling products or services, discussing pay with employees, buying a car, disagreeing with your spouse, or dealing with your children, you are always negotiating. It's just that some of what you negotiate are considered by you as normal activity. 2. Everything you want is presently owned or controlled by someone else. Doesn't that statement seem like a given? But think of the implications. To get what you want means you have to negotiate with the person that has it. 3. There are predictable responses to strategic maneuvers or gambits. It is critical to understand this because if strategies are predictable, then they can be managed. If a gambit such as nibbling for extras at the end of a negotiation is employed on you, then you can request trade-offs to either stop it or get extras for yourself. 4. There are 3 critical factors to every negotiation. The understanding of power. Who has the power in the negotiation? Understanding this will help you in your strategies. Does the person you are dealing with have the power to make the decision? Are you in a weak negotiating position? If so, can you bring in factors or strategies that mitigate that? The information factor. What the opponent wants, what they require, and understanding the elements about the object negotiated for, are all informational items that are critical for a smooth negotiation, or to use to your advantage. The time element. Time is an important element to negotiation. If someone wants your product, but is desperate because they need it quickly, it's a big factor in the strength of your position. You know they have little time to compare other products. You can guarantee speed for more money. 5. People are different and have different personality styles that must be accounted for in negotiations. Strategies are affected by the people within the negotiation. If you play to the needs and desires of the person, you will be more successful in the negotiation. Win-win negotiating. Understanding the underlying facts about negotiations gives you a base to work from in any negotiation, but win-win is a central theme that must be concentrated on. Keep in mind 3 simple rules. 1. Never narrow negotiations down to one issue. Doing so leaves the participants in the position of having a winner or a loser. When single-issue negotiations become a factor, broaden the scope of the negotiations. If immediate delivery is important to a customer, and you can't meet the schedule, maybe a partial shipment will resolve their problem, while you produce the rest. 2. Never assume you know what the other party wants. What you think you are negotiating for may be totally different from what they are. You may be selling them on quality, when what they need is medium quality, low price, and large volume. Always keep an eye on their wants and needs. 3. Understand that people are different and have different perspectives on negotiations. Some may want to negotiate and build a long-term business relationship. Others may want the deal and a handshake, and it's over. Price is generally an important factor, but never assume that money is the only issue. Other issues can change the price they are willing to accept, or the price you are willing to accept, like financing, quality, and speed. The negotiator. Let's now direct our attention to the negotiator, you. To be a good negotiator requires 5 things. 1. Understand that negotiating is always a two-way affair. If you ignore that fact, you will ignore the needs of the other party, and put a stake in the heart of the negotiation. 2. Desire to acquire the skills of negotiating. Negotiating is a learned activity. Constantly evaluate your performance and determine how you can improve. 3. Understand how the human factor and gambits affect negotiating. Knowing one gambit and using it always is not enough. It may not work on some people. They may have an effective counter to the gambit. They knew or lost, or may not recognize tactics being used on you. 4. Be willing to practice. Pay attention to what you are doing during negotiations. Plan them and reevaluate your performance. Prepare for negotiations by practicing with someone. 5. Desire to create win-win situations. You don't want to negotiate with someone who only wants to destroy you. If you both win, a future deal is possible. Now, here are 10 quick tips for effective negotiation. 1. Know what you really want. Many people enter negotiation only to find they did not have a clear desired outcome defined in their own mind. Write down your desired outcome as concisely as possible, and use this outcome as the center point of your preparation. 2. Know your opposition. Learn as much as possible about who you are negotiating with, what they want, their strengths and weaknesses, and their likes and dislikes. 3. Consider the impact of timing and method of negotiation. Whenever possible, negotiate face-to-face. It is easier to say no over the telephone and in writing. Initiate the negotiation process so that you have the advantage of preparation and timing. 4. Prepare your presentation, point by point. Outline your presentation carefully. Place emphasis on benefits to the other party. 5. Anticipate reactions, objections, and responses. If possible, brainstorm with others who have had similar negotiations to get a jump on what to expect. For each objection or reaction, list positive responses, alternatives, and examples that counteract the negatives. 6. Structure your presentation to ensure agreement on 1 or 2 points at the beginning of the negotiation. For example, I think we can agree right away that we have a problem, and that we both/all want to resolve it. Initial agreement on minor issues or points early on in the negotiation process sets a positive atmosphere for agreement in later, more significant stages. 7. Determine paybacks and consequences for each party in the negotiation. A clear understanding of paybacks and consequences makes it easier to determine when and how to make concessions, and when and how to stick to your demands/requests. 8. Prepare options rather than ultimatums. An ultimatum should be used only as a last resort, when you are sure you can back it up, and the other party knows you can back it up. Even then, in virtually every negotiation there are options and alternatives that reduce defensiveness and lead to positive resolution for all parties. 9. Get comfortable with silence. Many negotiators feel compelled to jump in with arguments and comments each time there is a pause in the interaction. Practice withholding comments and responses. Silence can be a very powerful negotiation tool. 10. Close all negotiations by clearly outlining agreement. When agreement or conclusions have been reached, and you are ready to end your negotiation, review the agreement that has been reached. Then, end your negotiation on a positive note, commending those involved and emphasizing the progress made. Thank you for listening. Visit us at bizmove.com for a comprehensive free resource of guides and templates for starting and managing a business.